welcome back. So we are here with a new video. So without delay the time, let's get started this video. This video lecture is covered by me myself Pooja Gupta from BSc department from Braspati Mahila College. So today's topic is syndrome. We very well known in our regular busy life. Most of the persons when they see abnormal child say this is the special child, but what kind of a special child? The every special child is affected due to some kind of mutation in their chromosomal aberration. So the mutation in the related to their chromosome aberration is called syndromes. So firstly we discuss what was syndrome. The syndrome is the group of signs and symptoms that occur together and characterized into particular abnormalities. In case of human, following syndromes are related with various chromosomal. Here in this whiteboard, we draw a flow chart. So we discuss firstly this flow chart. The syndrome divided is two kind of syndromes: autosome syndromes and sex chromosomes related syndromes. We very well known the human have a 23 pair of the chromosomes, in which 22 pairs are autosomes and last is sex chromosome. If it is female, it is XX, and in case of the male, it is XY. Okay. So firstly we discuss about autosomal syndromes. Autosomal syndrome is again further divided into two kind of the first is trisomy. We very well know trisomy, it means all the chromosomes have pair. Pair is known as a disomy. But trisomy, tri from 3, yani number of chromosomes in hands with one. Okay, and another hand is deletion. Here the number of chromosome is destroy or delete, so it is known as a n-1, or it also known as a monosomy, because here the reduced number of chromosomes, it means if have a pair of chromosomes, so after the deletion it have only single chromosome remain left, so it is also known as a monosomy. Okay. In case of the trisomy, we firstly discuss about Down syndrome. It was firstly mentioned by determined by J. Langdon Down in 1866 when they saw the genetic mutation in case of the Down syndrome. Okay, in case of the Down syndrome is seen in the trisomy in case of the chromosome number of 21, and we very well know according to the Denver classification 21 is come in the group G, and group G have all the chromosomes, smallest chromosome, and 21, 22 and Y are under group G, and they are the form of the acentric. Okay, now we move on the Patau syndrome. The Patau syndrome mutation seen if the mutation happened in chromosome number 13, so the syndrome is known as the Patau syndrome. It is discovered in 1960 by Clevis Patau. Next, we move on the Edwards syndrome. If any kind of mutation which increase or enhance the chromosome number 18 size, so it known as Edwards syndrome. It also discovered by John H. Edward. That's why its name is Edwards syndrome, and it is discovered in 1960. Now we move on the deletion. We very well know what was the mean of the deletion. The disomy is converted into monosomy. So firstly syndrome is Cry-Do syndrome, when any kind of mutation seen in the chromosome 5, and after mutation the chromosome 5 size is smaller than the normal, so it's known as a Cry-Do syndromes, and it is discovered in 1963 by Lejeune. Okay, now we move on the Philadelphia. It is the chromosomal mutation happened in between chromosome number 9 and the chromosome number 22. It is the Philadelphia and the Burkitt lymphoma is the two form of the mutation that result in cause cancer. In case of the 922, the ninth chromosomal arm is mutant and attached on the chromosome number of 22, so it called a Philadelphia mutation. In case of the Burkitt lymphoma, it happened the chromosomal arm to in between 214 and 22. Okay, now here is the topic we only discuss about the periphery, not superior, it's a superior. Okay, we discuss about only what was and maybe we make a next video in detailed video about the syndromes. Now we move on the, here is the topic of the autosomal syndrome. Now we move on the sex chromosome related syndromes. Okay, in the sex chromosome related syndromes, we very well know the in normal language it's Turner syndromes, Poly-X syndromes, and Klinefelter syndromes and Poly-Y syndromes. In case of the Turner syndrome, we very well know it's seen mostly in case of the most prominent seen in the female, because here loss of the one X chromosome. So we very well know if one X chromosome is lost or already one X chromosome is present, so in case of the female. Okay, and the second one is the Poly-X syndrome, whenever the number of chromosomes is increases more than the 2, so it's known as the Poly-X syndromes. Okay, now we move on the Klinefelter syndrome. It happened in the case of the male when a diploid egg, most prominently known as the haploid egg, hatched by the haploid sperm, so zygote is diploid. But in case of the mutant egg, whenever the egg is diploid, it hatches with a Y, so this kind of the baby is resultant of the Klinefelter syndrome. Now we move on the Poly-Y syndrome. If the already one haploid X egg is hatches by the 2 Y chromosomes, so this kind of the baby generated by this kind of the hatching is known is a resultant of the Poly-Y syndromes. So it is the only covering up. We make sure that we make a brief video about that syndrome. So but before that, I give you a 2 question. If you interested and you listening that video, so maybe I hope that you give me a answer of my questions. So first question is, what was the common name of the Down syndrome? Okay, if you read it, or so please mention it. Okay, and the second one is the please tell me if the patient is surviving from the Poly-X syndrome, so how many bodies in case of the Poly-X syndrome? If you listening my lecture, so thank you for that. We make sure that the next video is completely resolve all your problems. Okay, thank you for that.